Yes, it's yet another character for fools video. For this one, I'm going to start off with her lore because it's very, well, almost non-existent. Like, I mean, not Shaco levels of non-existent, but like, very non-existent. I mean, the most recent bit of lore she got was from the Ruination event, and even then it gave her basically nothing. Like, all it says is that she has some disillusionment with Demacia because they threw her in prison over jack shit. So the whole idea is that she is a half human, half dragon hybrid, or in some tellings of the fucking lore, we have no idea why she's half human. Like she just cracked out of an egg, human shaped, and then through some sort of circumstances, either killing her mom or hunting down her father's killer or something like that, she ends up joining the Demacia, like, royal guard, and then eventually moves on to the Dragon Guard, which is basically just, instead of hunting down mages like the Mage Seekers, they hunt down dragons and make sure they don't hurt Demacia or whatever. So basically, they protect the anti-gay, I mean the anti-mage community from dragons. But anyway, that's literally the rest of her lore. I mean, there was a bit of lore for the Ruination event. Basically, they threw her in prison because of some bullshit. I don't really understand it because it's just not making sense to me. I'm slow, whatever. Whatever you want to say, do it. You could tell me in the comments what the fuck happened. I think something happened with Jarvan the Third, and then Jarvan the Fourth throws her in prison. I think that's the lore behind it, but it's very weirdly phrased on this website, so forgive me for not being accurate. Viego possesses her, and then she is partially acting on her own accord because she has disillusionment with Demacia, obviously, because she was thrown in prison. But that's literally all her lore because she's an old character. A lot of it's retconned and thrown out the window and all that bullshit. I mean, I like the character. I think it's a cool idea to have a kind of half dragon lady in the cast. Lore-wise, I guess. I mean, we already have fucking, like, gay coding, so we might as well have some trans coding. I mean, I guess the gay coding could also be converted to trans coding. I mean, honestly, anything in Demacia has a fucking giant layer of coding, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So, let's jump back into actual gameplay. I'm going to talk about the character model now, because this is a big problem with Shyvana, at least for most people. It's so clunky. It is one of the clunkiest models in the game. Like, right up there, like, right under goddamn Skarner and Udyr. Like, some of the clunkiest modeling in the game. And it's a little better with the Ruination skin and the Power Ranger skin. But it's like, you're still getting this clunky model, but with just a new coat of paint. It's like getting, like, a house to flip, and then just, like, slathering it in paint, and that's basically it. And, like, it's really apparent on some of the older skins, like Iron Scale, where it's just, like, super skinny, and it just looks clunky, and, it just they need to give her a VGU. I mean, they need to give half these characters VGUs, but I mean, I'm happy Udyr's getting one over literally anyone else because Udyr really needed that. And honestly, now this is for Aber. This is now Aber's review of Udyr, but Udyr's new VGU VGU looks amazing. I'm really enjoying how it looks. The only criticism I have is some of the skins are looking a little funny. Like, a lot of their splash art is looking funny. I really hope that's not how it turns out in some of these. I mean, because, like, some of the older skins looked a little better in their splash art. So I'm hoping that they do a lot of cool stuff with it. I really hope they go off the fucking shizzle with this, as the hip kids say. But alright, now let's get back into it. So, clunky model, almost no lore. How does she play? Ugh. How do I explain this in a way that doesn't piss off the Shyvana mains? She fucking sucks. Like, I love Shyvana and I've enjoyed playing her, but like the way she plays is so clunky and it makes me want to kill myself. Like, so the idea behind her is like a pseudo, like, okay, I could be completely wrong also. I obviously I'm not the big Shyvana main, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I need to preface that with everything I say, because like these are mostly for fun, but some people are taking this as like real fact. Like, I'm doing my best here, but like I'm not a main of these characters, so just take it with a grain of salt. Get me wrong, whatever. I don't give a shit. But like the way I see it is that she's like a pseudo Nidalee type of character, where she uses her mark with her E, and then just runs in and kicks their fucking ass. And then until she gets to level 6, where she gets her main power spike with her dragon form, which is basically where that's what you build around at this point. You want to fight only when you have dragon form, because in your normal form you are significantly weaker. Now, it does feel cool to be this massive dragon, and it's really fun, but there's the big but. It's so clunky. Like, again, like, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Like, the running rig looks so funny, and I think the abilities are fine for what they are. I don't think that's the worst part. I just think that she's really clunky. I don't know how to explain it other than she feels weak, but also feels entirely too strong. 300 damage with her E when she's in her ult. With just base. That's her base damage with her E, which is fucking huge. Especially because it does burn damage, and then you can run in and start smacking them down, and then just keep hitting them with that. Which, I mean, that's good. The problem is that I'm building tank in a lot of these clips, and I'm annihilating teams without much effort from my part. Whenever I'm playing lane or jungle, I get annihilated early game because she's just not that strong when she's in her normal base form. So you get like this weird middle ground where you're either completely butt fucking sane or completely useless, where that's just how it goes for the rest of the game. And most people do not know how you play, so half the time they're going to go in when you have no ult and then just die because you can't go in with them, or you're going to die with them because you're a good teammate. And let me segue real quick into the builds, because I was just talking about how I build tank in a lot of these clips. I used to build Shyvana with full AP back in the day. Back in the day being a year ago. But they just completely cucked that. I don't know, maybe I'm playing it wrong at this point, but it seems so neutered that like you don't even get the chance to even use any of your abilities by that point, because you just get stunned and then annihilated. So I don't do that anymore. I think it's useless, so I just threw that out the window. I've only been going tank with Shyvana. But I did take something from my AP Shyvana days. Shyvana Dark Harvest build that I used to use every time I played Shyvana. So I've decided to start using the Dark Harvest build. I did tweak this one with the Taste for Blood instead of the Sudden Impact. I used to use Sudden Impact, but Taste for Blood worked out way better in lane. But Sudden Impact would probably be better if you're going jungle with it. I haven't been jungling with her much recently because my friend Justin likes to jungle, so I don't care. And then you have the Dark Harvest, obviously, and then you have the Eyeball Collection, and then the Treasure Hunter with the Gathering Storm and the funny Galaxy Brain. But with all of that combined, while building tank, you continue to have a good amount of damage while still being tanky. Like, you could go full tank. Like, don't get me wrong, full tank works. Like, most people go press the attack. I think that's, like, a common build for her. But I prefer to go with Grasp of the Undying if I'm going tank. But this build is really good because you get that extra damage, so that means you have a chance at carrying. When I first started playing her, I was so fucking mad because every game I fucking played, we would lose, even though it was not my fucking fault. Except for one of them, because I'd made a bad play at the very end, so I'll take the blame for that. But all these other games, I was top fragging with damage, and top fragging, and taking the most damage, and had the most CS, and had the most vision score. Okay, not the most vision score because, you know, support items exist. But other than that, you know, I was doing really good in every fucking category. But I would lose anyway because I couldn't carry hard enough because I'd play full tank on Shyvana, which would give me nothing. Like, I'd still do damage, but I wouldn't have enough damage to hyper carry, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't be in Caned territory with hyper carrying, or like Irelia territory. I'd be more like Darius territory with hyper carrying, where like you can, but like you kind of need a team behind you because you can't be everywhere at once. Lastly, she does need more voice lines. She has like none. But like the voice lines she does have are really funny. I really enjoy her joke line about a dragon sneeze.
What do you get when a dragon sneezes? Out of the way.
Even though this video is me just dissing on her the entire time, how her rig is clunky, how she doesn't have lore, and all that bullshit, I still enjoy playing her, even though I still can't fucking carry. I still enjoy her. She's fun. I think she's a 7.9 out of 4,000. But yeah, I just really enjoyed playing her for this video. If you enjoy the video, please do something with it. I would really like to have the subscribe, but if you don't want that, then a like will be a settle. We can settle this in court, but I will settle for a like and let it slide. But other than that, have a great day.